Blessed morning, children. Welcome back to our social class. So, children, today we are going to start a new topic in civics. It is chapter number 12, our constitution. So, before getting into it, we are going to learn a famous quote by B.R. Ambedkar. So, we must have a government in which the men in power will give their undivided allegiance to the best interest of the country. So we must have a government in which men in power, knowing where obedience will end and where resistance will begin, will not be afraid to amend the social and economic code of life. Okay, so this is about the Constitution of India. So the constitution of a country is the fundamental law of that country. Fundamental means basic. So all laws must be made according to the principles laid down in the constitution. So the constitution lists the rights and duties of the citizens and the powers of the government and so on. So our country gained independence from the British rule on which date, children? Yes, very good. 15th August 1947. So after independence, there was an urgent need to lay down rules and regulations to guide the governance of our country. And the Constitution of India comprises these rules and regulations. So a constitution was prepared after a great deal of discussion. So the group of representatives who prepared it formed the Constituent Assembly. So what you are seeing in the picture is the Constituent Assembly of India. So what is the role of this Constituent Assembly? So this Constituent Assembly was elected in 1946 for the specific purpose of framing a constitution. So it comprised members belonging to different political parties, communities and regions of India. So among them were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Sri Biswanand Das, Sardar Baldev Singh, Sri Frank Antony and Dr. H.P. Modi. So women members included Sarojini Naidu, Renuka Ray, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, Hansa Mehta, Suchita Kripalni and Vijay Lakshmi Pandit and among many others. So they were all involved in framing of the constitution. So next we are going to see about the framing of a constitution. So before that, can you see in the picture what is in the picture, children? Yes, these are the original copies of the Constitution of India which are kept in special temperature controlled cases in the library of the Parliament of India. So the Constituent Assembly appointed a drafting committee of 6 members under the chairmanship of Dr. Bhimarao Ramji Ambedkar. That is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, so they prepared a draft of a constitution and the views and the opinions of the citizens of India were taken into consideration. And suitable features from the constitutions of other countries such as the UK, USA and Ireland were also incorporated. That means they were also included in our constitution. So now, what is the role of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Next topic is adoption of a constitution. So on 26 November 1949, the Indian constitution was formally passed by the Constituent Assembly, and on 26 January 1950, the constitution came into force, and thus we celebrate what that day? Yes, it is a Republic Day, isn't it, children? Yes. So India was declared as a sovereign democratic republic. We are no more under anyone's control. So later the words socialist and secular were added to it, and we celebrate 26 January as a Republic Day every year. So once the Indian Constitution was adopted, the chairperson of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, was elected as the first president of the independent India. And in the picture you can see Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru signing the constitution. Okay. So the next one is about the preamble. So the preamble is a short introduction to the constitution, and the idea of the preamble was borrowed from the Constitution of the United States of America. So the preamble helps us in understanding our constitution by the following things. Pointing out the source of the constitution. Source means how it started, origin. Explaining the nature of the state that the country will be governed by, and stating the objectives which the constitution aims to provide and implement. Implementing here means processing. How does it take place? And the preamble is not justiciable. So it cannot be enforced in a court of law, and it can be used only to interpret certain aspects of the constitution. So this is what you have to understand about a preamble. So what does a preamble state? Yes, can you read? So while we were studying in school, we used to write tests in the preamble of a constitution. This you all have to know. So I want you also to all, you have to write it in a A4 sheet and you have to stick it in your classwork. Okay. So what is written in a preamble? Yes. Can you read, children? Yes. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, okay, and this 26th of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. Okay, so the keywords you have to remember. What are the keywords? Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, and in a constitution, and when it was adopted. Okay, so this means that ultimate authority lies with the people of India. So people govern themselves through their representatives. But what we people do, we'll get money from the candidates and we'll vote for a wrong person, isn't it? That's what we are doing. So next we are going to discuss about the nature of the state. So first one is sovereign. So this means that India is an independent country and is not under the control of any external or the internal power like that of British or any other country's influence, and no other country can interfere in India's internal matters. That means what is happening inside the country. Okay, so that is the meaning of sovereign. So next is socialist. So what do you mean by the word socialist? So this word was added to the preamble in 1976 by the 42nd Amendment Act. So let's see about it. So children, what was there in the 42nd Amendment? Yes, 4 directive principles were added by the 42nd Amendment to secure opportunities for healthy development of children, Article 39, and to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor, that is Article 39A, and to take steps to secure the participation of workers in the management of industries, Article 43A, and to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife, Article 48A. So these are all the 4 directive principles added to the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, so its main purpose is to end inequality of income and status. So it also aims to provide a decent standard of living to all. So the Indian Constitution therefore aims at providing equal opportunities to all. So next one is secular. So India is a secular country, and the word secular was also added to the preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act. And secularism means the state protects all religions equally and there is no discrimination based on one religion. No saffron flags, no white flags, no green flags, all are equal. But only some people know they are just mad and they just fight for their religion. Okay, so we all are brothers and sisters. We say our pledge, isn't it, in our school? So all should be treated equally. Okay, and individuals have the freedom to profess, practice and spread their respective religions. So the next one is democratic. So a government chosen by the people is called democracy. We all know the famous line. Yes, democracy is for the people, of the people and by the people. So every 5 years general elections are held in which people vote to elect their government. And now election is far approaching us, isn't it? Yes, and we have this April or May we'll be having our elections and our board exams are postponed in the month of June, isn't it, children? Yes. So democracy is nothing but our freedom. We can choose our own representatives. So next one is republic. So India became a republic in the year 1950, and a republic is a form of a government in which the offices of the country cannot be inherited, and every Indian citizen has a right to be elected to any office in the country. So children, do you all know that when our Constitution Day is celebrated? Yes, it is on 26th November. So it was on this day in the year 1949 the Constitution of India was adopted, and the original Constitution of India was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narendra Raizada. So every page was decorated by the artist of Santiniketan under the guidance of Nandalal Bose. So next one is objectives of constitution. So under that, justice. So there are three kinds of justice: social, economic and political. So social justice implies that there should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, race, gender or religion. Okay, you should not discriminate anyone on the basis of religion, gender, whether male or female, or whether it's a transgender, or whether of different caste. Okay, next, economic justice implies reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. Next, political justice. It implies that all citizens should have equal opportunities to be elected or to vote irrespective of their caste, religion, gender, economic status or education. So this is political justice. So next one is liberty. What do you mean by liberty? Liberty means that every individual is free to enjoy the basic rights and to live a life of dignity. And the individual rights mentioned in the preamble are freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Okay, so we are free to enjoy the basic rights. Okay, children. Next one is equality. So what is equality? All citizens are equal before law and enjoy equal protection of the law. And the state does not discriminate against people on the basis of status, caste, race, religion or gender. Next one is fraternity. So India is a country of diversity. So fraternity, as mentioned in the preamble, stands for a sense of common brotherhood of all Indians. And this feeling of brotherhood promotes unity among the people. So now the quick quiz to finish off. First one, the laws of a country are made according to the principles laid down in the Constitution. Second one, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the Dash committee. Yes, drafting committee. The word socialist was added to the preamble later. True or false? Yes, it is true. So only secular was there? No, it was only sovereign. Then they added secular and socialist. Okay, next, what is a government chosen by the people called? Yes, it is called democracy. Okay, so in the next class, we'll be discussing about the features of our constitution. So children, since you all didn't do your work last week properly, I'm stopping here. Complete the last week work as well as this week's work. Okay, so the next class will be continuing this lesson. Okay children, have a great day. Stay safe everyone. Complete your classwork and keep learning, right?